What is going on, guys? Nathan here with a block and load gameplay commentary. And you guys, this game is awesome. I remember seeing it back, I think it was at least a few months ago, whether it was in early access or some sort of like Kickstarter thing, or maybe I just stumbled upon their website. But I remember seeing this game, or some sort of trailer maybe, where I was like previewing what this game might be. And I remember thinking at the time that this game would be amazing. And I forgot about it, fast forward a few months, and now it is released. And I've been having a ton of fun in this game. The most accurate description of Block and Load is a cross between Loadout and Minecraft, because you have very Loadout-esque combat in that it takes a lot of damage to actually kill somebody, but obviously in terms of Minecraft, because you build your base defenses and you destroy blocks, and or generally you defend your own sort of nexus with blocks, and everything is made out of blocks, everything is destructible, and it's super cool that way. But this game is amazing because I think there's a lot of depth to it that maybe people aren't seeing at first glance. It combines a multitude of strategies between building in terms of defending your own base, but then you have a sort of attacking perspective where you're trying to figure out the best way to penetrate the opponent's base using the most efficient way possible, while also trying not to get caught. There's things like area defense, a lot of resource management because you are given a certain amount of blocks, and also you have to learn how to allocate certain members of your team in terms of who is attacking, who's defending, how do we best approach winning this game. And all of this is combined with the basic skill set of being a first-person shooter. So I think there's just a lot of stuff going on in this game that is just so awesome. There's just so many strategies that can be discovered, and there's I think maybe 5 or 6 maps, and there's just a multitude of ways that you can defend your own base while figuring out the best way to get into the opponent's base. Now, this game is free to play. Its model is pretty standard, I would say, when it comes to free-to-play games, where you have to unlock heroes with the credits that you slowly earn in-game, or you can just buy them immediately with your own money. And I think if you spend around $50, you'll pretty much unlock every hero in the game. But I think the game has a fast enough progression system where you can actually earn heroes fast enough just by playing the game quite a bit. I think probably playing the game quite a bit per day for about a week will probably net you all of the, or maybe 3/4 of the heroes in game, which is definitely an appropriate progression system in my own opinion. That's definitely fast enough to make it seem like you're always on track to earning your next hero, so to speak. Plus, there are skins, which I'm not sure if you can buy those with in-game credits or only the sort of credits that you earn from paying money. But there's also like different perks and stuff, so there's just a lot of stuff that you can actually spend your credits on, and a lot of ways to customize your heroes. Now, in this game, there are, I want to say like 9 different characters, and I would say that they're pretty diversified, and they do have their appropriate roles in game. There is, I think, at least for the free rotation right now, there is Tony, who is like pretty much like an engineer type of character from Team Fortress 2. He can build turrets, he has a shotgun, he's kind of weak in terms of combat, but he has a lot of objective area control, and he can spawn health kits and ammo kits for his team, which are incredibly useful. So he's a very defensive oriented character, but there's roles like the sniper, which is my sort of favorite role, because I tend to play a sort of slayer role in this game just because I find that the combat is one of the most fun aspects. Although I do like going just the sort of soldier character is focused on destroying blocks, and I like playing him too because he is my like attack type of character. He's my go-to character when I'm looking to penetrate the opponent's base. And it is worth noting too that actually joining a game, you choose your character and then you cannot change into a different class within the game. Like once you lock in your character at the start of the match in the lobby, you are set on having that character. So you really have to choose your character wisely in terms of creating a team, and you have to make sure you have enough area denial mixed with attacking type of characters to have a really good team. But like in this game, there's just an incredible amount of depth because with the 5 or 6 different maps that you have, they all have sort of unique layouts. And I feel like there's a lot of ways that you can sort of strategize and try to optimize the most efficient way to defend your base, and also the most efficient way to attack the opponent's base. And like you could spend hours upon hours just on a single map alone trying to strategize, trying to figure out the best way to do this, and there's 5 or 6 maps, and I think that the developers of this game did a good job because the maps are diversified, where I would say like two of the 6 or so maps are pretty large, 2 of them are pretty small, and 2 of them are about medium size. So it's a really good diversification of map sizes, which means that each class again can fit a role. If you're on a long range map, for example, I think the map is Parapet, which is one of the better sniper maps just because it's so long range. Where again, like the characters do have their role in a game. This game is just amazing, guys. Because this game is all about the objective as well. So it seems as if you're always working towards the objective in some way. If you're spending your blocks to defend your own base, it feels like you're helping out that way. If you're attacking the enemy base, it feels as if you're helping out that way. It always feels as if you're helping out your team in some way. And there are always, because this is such an objective-focused game, there are always going to be moments where you are locked in like a their nexus, it has very low health, your nexus has very low health, and it's like these super intense objective moments where it's like you really can't tell who's going to win, and it feels like those moments happen in 75% of the matches that you play in. So that just overall makes for a very intense, like electrifying type of experience within these games. And sometimes I will admit that the combat is often infuriating sometimes, but if you really can aim well, you will win most of your engages, provided that you stick to the appropriate range. For example, as a sniper, you 9 times out of 10 are not going to win a short to mid-range type of firefight, but obviously you are supposed to be damaging the enemy from the back lines. I wish the sniper actually would be buffed a little bit so that there would be some way that he could headshot, because headshots actually, headshots take about 60% of the enemy's health, so it's actually a 2-shot headshot. But the thing is that health does not, like, you don't passively recover health in the game. So damaging enemies is almost as effective as killing them, because really, like, that means that you're going to run into, or rather, if you put an enemy down at 40% health, then that means a teammate who might come along later and encounter that person might be able to finish them off that much easier, just because they are already weakened. So it's just a little bit harder to gain health that way. I would say that there's one. Okay, so I haven't run into all of the characters so far, or at least I don't know exactly what they do extensively, but I will say that one character that I've ran into that seems really overpowered is the, like, electric fist guy. He seems to just dominate any sort of close range engagement because he's melee only, but he's also like a tank type of character, so I think he has very little objective control, but he wins almost every combat engagement, and it's just like, you like to take on that character, it feels as if you're facing a tank from Left 4 Dead 2, and it feels as if you need at least 2 or 3 teammates to take on that character so that you can eventually progress into the enemy space and make progress. So I think that there is one overpowered character that way. But otherwise, this game is amazing, like, even down to the mood of the game. Like, the main menu music is perfect. It just captures that, like, ridiculous sort of military style of mood that the game tries to put on. I don't know how else to explain this, but like the characters when you're in game say these ridiculous phrases that are appropriate, but I think they're still keeping the game light. They're always saying ridiculous things to remind you that this game is ridiculous and you should not be taking it seriously, because honestly some combat situations are infuriating. I will say that. But like the mood of the game is always just silly. It's always just upbeat. It's always just colorful. Like, hey, you're just here to have fun. And I really do appreciate that about games. So I don't know. I've just been in love with Block and Load recently. And I think like I may be a little bit biased because I remember seeing this game all of those months ago, whether it was in early access or whatever, and I remember thinking that this game would be amazing. So now it's out, now I'm enjoying it, and I am having an absolute blast with this game. So you guys should totally check out this game. It's free on Steam, and yeah, I mean, there's not much more I can say. So here's where I'll wrap up the video, guys. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to leave a rating on the video if you did enjoy it, and I will see you guys later.